Pixar is a film studio that has made 27 awesome films at the time of this video's recording. Some of the best movies ever made were made by Pixar. I've had the pleasure of watching each and every one of their films. Today, I'll be ranking each and every one of the 27 up. Let's hop right in. Number 27, Turning Red. This movie is one of Pixar's newer films, only dating back to March 2022. This is Pixar's 25th film, and I think it was mainly meant for different tastes than mine. This is the only Pixar film I didn't think was really good. This was sort of mediocre for me, and I think other people probably enjoyed this a lot more than I did. Number 26, The Good Dinosaur. This is also somewhat new, being released in November 2015, and being the 16th movie made by Pixar. After I watched this movie, I didn't hate it, but I did think it was amazing. It's also not the most relevant movie either, and I don't think I'll ever get around to watching it again. This also got not one, but two Easter eggs from previous movies, including Inside Out and Monsters University. Most Pixar movies get an Easter egg for themselves in the previous movie, but Inside Out was not planned. It ended up happening, and it gave The Good Dinosaur an extra Easter egg. Number 25, A Bug's Life. This is one of the oldest films Pixar made, only their second. This is only outdated by Toy Story. This opened all the way back in November 1998, before the turn of the century. This is like The Good Dinosaur, but I think A Bug's Life is slightly better. It's also kind of irrelevant. Pretty forgettable. Not the best or the worst, but just okay. Number 24, Monsters University. This is again a halfway decent film. I don't think it's incredible or anything, but again, it's not terrible. This was released in June 2013, and for some reason I always thought it was 2014. This is Pixar's 14th film, and it's okay, it's one of those that you would just forget exists, if it weren't for Monsters Incorporated, of course. Otherwise, this would be forgotten. Number 23, Toy Story. This was Pixar's first film, and the first 3D animated full-length film. This opened in November 1995, and honestly, it's kind of outdated. It's also pretty short, one of the shortest films they ever made. In fact, it might actually be the shortest film Pixar has made. But besides the nostalgia that it might give to a lot of people, the actual film was mediocre at best. The animation is good if you're in the 1990s, but this is the 2020s. We've seen more modern movies. Number 22, Toy Story 2. This was Pixar's third film, being released in November 1999. This is the same story as, Toy Story. It was groundbreaking when it was released, but now it is also kind of outdated. It's also pretty mid at best, and is okay, not something I would want to watch over and over, but I don't despise it either. The best way to describe it is that it's just another Pixar movie. Number 21, Ratatouille. This is another movie that isn't anything special. It's the 8th movie Pixar made, released in June 2007. Some people love it. I guess a rat secretly being good at cooking is a pretty good plot. Don't get me wrong, but the movie is, I don't know if I'll ever get back to watching this movie. I might, but I don't ache to see this movie all the time. Number 20, Cars. The longest movie Pixar ever made, at a whopping 110 minutes long. And that's not even including credits. If I included credits, that would be 117 minutes. It does have some good moments, but there is a lot of filler in that movie. This is also one of the earliest Pixar movies, their 7th. It was released in June 2006. So a decently long time ago, and for being that old, it's surprisingly well animated, a huge step up from the movies that came before it. Number 19, Brave. This is a big step up from the movies that are ranked below this. This was the 13th Pixar movie, being released in June 2012. This is a unique plot, but it kind of works. There are some people who put this way higher, but I can't say that it's similar to my personal tastes. The music is amazing, some of the best music you will find in a movie. Don't get me wrong, it has some really exciting parts, but there were just so many amazing movies Pixar has made. Number 18, Luca. Even I am surprised at how low this ended up being on my own list. 2 years ago, I would have ranked this much higher, but it's just fallen in my list of Pixar movies. And honestly, I'm no longer as big on this movie. There's some parts I didn't enjoy that much, but this is decent. I don't think it's amazing, but like every Pixar movie, it isn't terrible. It's Pixar's 24th movie, so one of the newer ones, coming out in June 2021. I don't have many strong opinions about this one, although it is very good for theorizing, though. Number 17, Toy Story 4. This movie was released in June 2019. Being the 21st movie made by Pixar, it leaves me with some questions. One is, well, why? Toy Story 3 was the perfect end for the trilogy when Andy gave away all his toys. Now they just had to add another movie to this. I heard they're planning on making this a pentology now. 3 should have been the end to the franchise, but no, they had to make another Toy Story movie. But besides that, the movie is decent. It has a pretty good plot. Number 16, Finding Nemo. Pixar's 5th movie is a pretty average film. It was released in May 2003, which makes it one of the oldest movies Pixar made. I think Finding Nemo is honestly overrated. It can be fun to watch, but I don't think it's an amazing, mind-blowing film people make it out to be. Don't get me wrong, Finding Nemo is great, but it's not incredible. I think it is decent at best. Number 15, Cars 3. The 18th film Pixar made is alright. It's pretty good, but not ultra elite. There's one part that's really funny, and the plot is actually really good. The idea was incredible. The execution fell short. This movie is from June 2017, and it's pretty good. It's certainly not the best, but it's good. Number 14, Elemental. The newest Pixar movie, the 27th, was released in June 2023. This was the first Pixar movie I saw in a theater. A couple of years ago, I was going to see The Incredibles 2 in a theater, but they were sold out, so I ended up watching Jurassic Park instead. Elemental is okay, but personifying elements is not exactly the best idea Pixar ever had. I can see why some people wouldn't like this, and it is very weird. The plot is actually better than I thought. There's some moments that are pretty exciting and intense, but I've seen better movies. Number 13, Coco. I also think this is overrated. I don't know much about Mexican traditions, but it seems like there are a lot of them. There's also a really good plot twist, and I won't spoil it. But this is where the movie started getting really good. This movie is from October 2017, and was the 19th Pixar movie. I don't have any real strong opinions about this one. Number 12, Cars 2. I imagine I get a lot of hate for putting this over Coco, Finding Nemo, and Toy Story, but this is the exact opposite of Cars 3. The idea was not the best. The execution was almost flawless. The animation is top-notch. The mix between the two parts of the story is just about unbeatable. There are just so many Pixar creations that are better than this June 2011 movie that was Pixar's 12th film. Number 11, Finding Dory. Okay, now we're getting serious. Everything from now on is elite to flawless. This movie is from June 2016, the 17th by Pixar, and it is a tremendous jump from Cars 2 to Finding Dory. This movie has some of the funniest humor you can find in a movie. The quantity of humor isn't the best, but the quality is top tier. The plot is much better than Finding Nemo. It takes Finding Nemo and fixes all the flaws. And this is even in the top 10. That just goes to show how great the other movies are. Number 10, Up. Released in May 2009 and being Pixar's 10th movie, Up is one of, if not the saddest Pixar movie ever made. This movie is amazing. It has everything you want in a movie. Sad parts, happy parts, exciting parts, good animation, long runtime, everything. But like I said, there are some absolutely phenomenal movies Pixar has made. This is only 10th place and it's still incredible. Number 9, Monsters Incorporated. This is an old movie that is still amazing. It dates all the way back to November 2001. It is only the 4th movie made by Pixar. There are some incredibly funny parts in the movie, along with some exciting scenes, and one of the best plots ever thought of. I can't think of a better idea for any film ever made. Monsters Incorporated is just a fantastic movie. Number 8, Onward. Pixar's 22nd movie is fantastic. It was released in March 2020 with one of the best finales of any film. It's mysterious, intense, and exciting. 2 years ago, this was probably my favorite film ever made. It has dropped quite a bit, though. This is still an amazing movie and one of my all-time favorites. I'll probably watch this again soon. Number 7, Incredibles 2. Incredibles 2 is a newer film from June 2018. Being the 20th film Pixar made and among the most exciting, Incredibles 2 is the closest anyone ever got to being better than the original. The film is long without much filler, but there are just so many amazing films Pixar has made. Number 6, Incredibles. This was so close to a sequel, but the original is just more exciting. Sure, it might not have the elite plot twist of the sequel, but Pixar's 6th movie is better than most of its other movies. This is a lot like Cars 2. The idea was not great, but the execution was awesome. I guess you could say that this October 2004 film was incredible! Number 5, Toy Story 3. This is the best Toy Story film, and it's not exactly close. This is intensity better than just about any other film out there. Both the idea and the execution of this June 2010 film is flawless. You won't find a more creative and well-developed plot than Pixar's 11th film. Number 4, Soul. I feel bad putting this December 2020 film this low. I'm surprised that this didn't even crack my own top 3. Pixar's 23rd movie is one of their best. The plot's amazing. The idea was excellent. The execution was beautiful. I can't believe there are 3 films ahead of this. Number 3, Inside Out. I said I was surprised when Soul got 4th. Well, I'm even more surprised that Inside Out is barely in my top 3. One of Pixar's best films is their 15th. Released in June of 2015, and one of the best movies ever made. This is one of my most watched movies. I can't think of any movies I've enjoyed more, but yet this is only 3rd. Number 2, Lightyear. Pixar's 26th film is one of their best. This June 2022 film used to be my favorite movie. The plot, idea, execution, and animation is all flawless. Some of the most exciting scenes you will ever see are in this movie. It has funny moments, sad moments, exciting scenes, and it's one of the most complete films ever made. Number 1, WALL-E. Out of all the amazing films created by Pixar, their 9th is actually their best. This movie is not classic or new. It only dates back to June 2008. This movie is nearly flawless. WALL-E is just pure fun. There are scenes that make me laugh, cry, and sit on the edge of the seat. It's the 2nd best movie I've ever seen, and it doesn't get much better than WALL-E. That's it for the Pixar movie rankings. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.